This portion of the CU podcast is sponsored by Launchbox, the perfect gaming front end for your PC, home theater, or arcade cabinet. Check it out at launchbox-app.com. Ian said in the hypothetical SNES mini episode that he doesn't love the SNES. What are Ian's full thoughts on the system?
My full thoughts on the system are it's a bag of shit. No, not really. People love to get on me for this, and I don't know why. I know it's so many people's favorite systems, but hey, people have opinions. I don't love the SNES. I don't hate it. Part of my problem with the SNES is I didn't grow up with one, so I don't have a nostalgic collection to one. My friend, one of my best friends growing up, who I don't fucking talk to because he's a dick.
Name Kevin?
Kevin. Yeah, that would have been Kevin.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Oh.
We had this conversation.
Oh, we did?
Yeah. Everyone has a friend Kevin growing up who was a dick.
Yeah.
So I played his SNES, he played my Genesis, but even back then, the only game I really ever wanted to play on his Super Nintendo was Super Mario World. I loved Super Mario World. I thought the game was great. I didn't like it as much as Mario 3, but I mean, I really enjoyed it. I liked the soundtrack. I liked the graphics. I thought it was a really fun game. I also liked playing Street Fighter 2 on it, obviously.
Absolutely.
I liked F-Zero. And then a lot of the games that he rented that he hated, I loved. Even though I don't have a whole lot of affection for it now, when he rented Earthbound, I sat there and played Earthbound for, a bunch of hours. I liked it. I liked ActRaiser when he rented it. I said F-Zero. Mario Kart, obviously, I played a ton of. So there are games I like for the system, but I never grew up with one. One of the systems I never bought at the flea market was also a Super Nintendo. My brother bought a Super. My brother bought a Saturn. And he bought it right around the time that I moved out, when I had just turned 19. So I borrowed it from my brother, mostly to play Super Mario World. And I played some of the Mega Man X's. Super Castlevania was pretty fun, but I didn't like it as the other ones, and as much as the other ones. And Contra 3 was alright. And I played, when I moved out, I played a lot of the RPGs that I'd only, touched on emulators when I was a teenager. So it's a good system.
Boo, emulators, boo.
It's a good system. And it has a lot of great RPGs. But I think the main reason that I don't like it so much now is my main interest is platformers and shooters. And yes, I know it has platformers, but it doesn't have a ton of platformers that I really enjoy. You can talk Mega Man X's, and sure. You can talk the Mario games, and yes. No, I don't like the Donkey Kong Country games. It really does not have a great library of shooters. I do love R-Type 3. At least it doesn't have a great library of shooters in the U.S. I do like RPGs, but with every year that passes, I find myself with less and less time for role-playing games. So, arguably the Super Nintendo's strongest point, and a genre that I really do like, is a genre that I can't find time for anymore. So it's not that I hate the Super Nintendo, it's that its shining genre is something that I no longer find time to play. So I don't hate the Super Nintendo. I don't love it because I just can't find time to make use of its best assets.
Sure.
The stuff that I do like playing, I find it's kind of weak in. So there, that's my full thoughts on the Super.
And you did always say it was always the library, not that it was boring, it was bland to you.
It is.
Compared to the Sega Genesis, which experimented a lot more.
The Genesis experimented a lot more. The Genesis does have a lot more of the types of platformers that I like. The Genesis has a lot more shooters. It has a lot more, like I said, the platformers are a lot more action platformers as opposed to kind of, meandering platformers. So it's a lot more action games. The beat-em-ups are great on that system.
Yeah, I was going to say, a lot of those beat-em-ups you can't find anywhere else. Like, you have Punisher arcade version, you can't find it anywhere else.
Golden Axe, Streets of Rage, just like really great, the stuff that I really enjoy. So, I mean, that's what it comes down to. It's not that the Super Nintendo is a bad system, it's just...
Nothing beats Time of the Sword of Baseball at all. Absolutely not. Or Pat Rally basketball.
Oh, Pat, I sold a copy of that. Yes, well, not yesterday, but within the past week or so, and it was like the first time I'd sold it in years.
It was to me. Did you sell it to me? It was to me.
It was to you. It was to you. I sold Pat Riley basketball to you.
That's funny. I wanted someone. Who the fuck else would want a Pat Riley basketball besides Pat?